Create your own happiness. How to create happiness from within. Imagine a life where your happiness isn't controlled by circumstances, people, or fleeting successes. A life where joy isn't something you chase, but something you create effortlessly from within. No more waiting for the perfect job, the perfect relationship, or the perfect future, because happiness is no longer a distant goal, but a daily reality. Most people spend their lives searching for happiness in all the wrong places, believing it exists outside of them. They tie their joy to achievements, possessions, or the approval of others, only to find that these sources of happiness are temporary and unreliable. The truth is, lasting happiness doesn't come from what you have. It comes from who you are and how you choose to experience life. But what if the key was never out there? What if it was within you all along? What if you had the power to create happiness regardless of your circumstances? In this book, you'll uncover 7 powerful shifts that will transform the way you experience life, helping you break free from the cycle of temporary highs and lows and create a lasting state of happiness from within. You'll learn how to master your thoughts, rewire your mind, and build an unshakable foundation of inner peace and joy. Are you ready to take control of your happiness and become the creator of your own joy? Let's begin. 1. Break free from "I'll be happy when." Happiness isn't something you earn after reaching a goal. It's something you can choose right now. Many people fall into the trap of thinking, "I'll be happy when I get a better job. I'll be happy when I find the right partner," or "I'll be happy when I have more money." This mindset places happiness in the future, always just out of reach. But the problem with this way of thinking is that the goalposts keep moving. Once you achieve one milestone, a new desire takes its place and the cycle continues. Instead of postponing happiness, learn to embrace it in the present moment. Your life is happening now, not in some distant future. If you always wait for circumstances to be perfect before allowing yourself to feel joy, you may never experience true happiness. The secret is to shift your focus from waiting for happiness to creating it. Find small moments of joy in your daily life. Appreciate simple things like a conversation with a friend, a beautiful sunset, or a quiet moment with a book. Work towards your goals, but don't tie your happiness to them. Achievements can bring excitement and fulfillment, but they should add to your happiness, not be the source of it. Happiness is not a finish line you cross after completing a list of accomplishments. It's a choice you make every day. Instead of saying, "I'll be happy when," start saying, "I choose to be happy while." The difference is life-changing. Chapter 1. Break free from "I'll be happy when." Happiness isn't something you earn after reaching a goal. It's something you can choose right now. Many people fall into the trap of thinking, "I'll be happy when I get a better job. I'll be happy when I find the right partner," or "I'll be happy when I have more money." This mindset places happiness in the future, always just out of reach. The problem with this way of thinking is that the goalposts keep moving. Once you achieve one milestone, a new desire takes its place, and the cycle continues. Instead of postponing happiness, learn to embrace it in the present moment. Your life is happening now, not in some distant future. If you always wait for circumstances to be perfect before allowing yourself to feel joy, you may never experience true happiness. The secret is to shift your focus from waiting for happiness to creating it. Find small moments of joy in your daily life. Appreciate simple things like a conversation with a friend, a beautiful sunset, or a quiet moment with a book. Work towards your goals, but don't tie your happiness to them. Achievements can bring excitement and fulfillment, but they should add to your happiness, not be the source of it. Happiness is not a finish line you cross after completing a list of accomplishments. It's a choice you make every day. Instead of saying, "I'll be happy when," start saying, "I choose to be happy while." The difference is life-changing. Chapter 2. Activate your inner pharmacy. Happiness is not something you have to search for outside of yourself. It is already within you. Your brain has a built-in pharmacy that naturally produces happiness chemicals: dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, and endorphins. These are the chemicals responsible for feelings of joy, motivation, connection, and peace. The problem is that most people unknowingly suppress these chemicals by relying too much on external rewards, like social media likes, shopping, or the approval of others. These quick fixes create temporary pleasure, but leave you feeling empty in the long run. The good news is that you don't need anything external to activate these happiness chemicals. You can stimulate them naturally. For example, dopamine, the motivation chemical, is released when you set and achieve small goals. Instead of waiting for big successes, break tasks into smaller steps and celebrate each one. Serotonin, the mood stabilizer, increases when you practice gratitude and spend time in the sun. Oxytocin, the bonding hormone, is triggered through acts of kindness and meaningful human connection. Endorphins, the feel-good chemicals, are released through exercise, laughter, and even listening to your favorite music. By understanding how to activate your inner pharmacy, you can take control of your happiness at any moment. Instead of depending on temporary highs, build daily habits that naturally boost these chemicals. When you learn to generate happiness from within, you no longer rely on the world to make you feel good. You become your own source of joy. Chapter 3. Rewire your thoughts for happiness. Your thoughts shape your reality. If your mind is filled with negativity, self-doubt, and fear, happiness will always feel out of reach. Many people don't realize that their unhappiness isn't caused by their circumstances. It's caused by how they think about their circumstances. The way you interpret life events, the words you use in your inner dialogue, and the beliefs you hold about yourself all determine whether you feel joy or suffering. Most of the negative thoughts running through your mind are simply old patterns, stories you've been telling yourself for years. Maybe you've convinced yourself that you're not good enough, that success is out of reach, or that life is unfair. These thoughts become mental habits, and like any habit, they can be changed. The first step to rewiring your mind is awareness. Start paying attention to your thoughts. When you catch yourself thinking negatively, ask, "Is this thought helping me or hurting me? Is it even true?" Often, you'll find that your negative thoughts are exaggerated or based on fear rather than reality. Next, replace toxic thoughts with empowering ones. Instead of saying, "I'll never be successful," tell yourself, "I am capable of growth and improvement." Instead of thinking, "Nothing ever works out for me," shift to, "Challenges help me become stronger." The brain is like a muscle. The more you train it to focus on positive and constructive thoughts, the easier it becomes. Rewiring your mind isn't about pretending everything is perfect. It's about choosing a perspective that helps you move forward instead of staying stuck. The quality of your thoughts determines the quality of your life. When you master your mind, happiness becomes a natural state of being. Chapter 4. Transform pain into power. Happiness isn't about avoiding negativity, it's about learning how to navigate it. Too often people believe that happiness means a life free from struggle, sadness, or failure. But the truth is, life will always have challenges. There will be setbacks, disappointments, and moments of pain. The key is not to resist these experiences, but to transform them into sources of strength and growth. Many people try to run away from pain. They suppress difficult emotions, distract themselves with entertainment, or numb their feelings through unhealthy habits. But avoiding pain only makes it more powerful. Unprocessed emotions stay buried in your subconscious, affecting your thoughts, actions, and overall well-being. Instead of trying to escape discomfort, what if you faced it head-on? The process of emotional transformation begins with acceptance. Instead of seeing pain as the enemy, recognize it as a teacher. Every hardship carries a lesson. When you stop resisting your emotions and start understanding them, you gain the power to turn pain into wisdom. For example, heartbreak can teach you the value of self-love and boundaries. Failure can teach you resilience and adaptability. Loneliness can push you to strengthen your relationship with yourself. Fear can be a guide, showing you where growth is needed. Every challenge has the potential to shape you into a stronger, wiser, and more capable person, if you allow it to. One powerful tool for emotional transformation is reframing. This means changing the way you interpret a painful situation. Instead of seeing a failure as proof that you're not good enough, view it as evidence that you are growing and evolving. Instead of seeing rejection as a personal attack, see it as redirection towards something better. The way you label your experiences shapes the way you feel about them. Another crucial step is letting go of victimhood. It's easy to fall into the trap of blaming external circumstances for your unhappiness. While it's true that some events are beyond your control, you always have control over how you respond. People who hold on to resentment, self-pity, or past traumas remain stuck in a cycle of suffering. But those who take responsibility for their healing reclaim their power. A great way to channel pain into something positive is through creative expression. Many of the greatest works of art, music, and literature were born from deep emotional struggles. Writing, painting, dancing, or even simply journaling can help process emotions in a healthy way. Turning your pain into something meaningful not only helps you heal, but can also inspire others. Growth also happens when you step outside of your comfort zone. Pain often signals that something needs to change. Maybe it's your mindset, your habits, or the people you surround yourself with. Instead of fearing discomfort, use it as motivation to take action. The most successful and fulfilled people aren't the ones who never experience pain. They're the ones who use their struggles as fuel to push forward. Understand that pain is temporary, but the strength you gain from overcoming it lasts forever. No hardship lasts forever. You have survived every difficult moment in your life so far, and you will continue to grow stronger. When you stop running from pain and start working with it, happiness becomes something deeper than just a fleeting emotion. It becomes an unshakable sense of inner peace and resilience. Happiness doesn't come from a life free of challenges. It comes from learning how to turn struggles into stepping stones. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" start asking, "What is this teaching me?" When you shift your perspective, pain loses its power over you, and you gain the ability to create happiness no matter what life throws your way. Chapter 5. Build a happiness anchor. Happiness should not be something that drifts with the winds of life's ups and downs. Too many people allow external events to dictate their emotions, feeling joyful only when things are going well and sinking into despair when challenges arise. But true happiness, the kind that lasts, needs to be anchored. It needs to be something you can hold on to, no matter what's happening around you. A happiness anchor is something internal and unshakable. It is a practice, belief, or mindset that keeps you grounded in joy and stability, even in difficult times. Without it, happiness becomes fragile, easily broken by setbacks, disappointments, or unexpected changes. But when you have a strong anchor, you become emotionally resilient. You learn to remain centered and at peace, even when life is chaotic. One of the most powerful happiness anchors is gratitude. When you train your mind to focus on what you have instead of what you lack, your entire perspective shifts. It's easy to get caught up in chasing the next big thing, more success, more recognition, more money. But this endless pursuit often leads to frustration rather than fulfillment. When you make gratitude a daily habit, you teach yourself to appreciate life as it is, rather than always longing for what's next. A practical way to do this is by keeping a gratitude journal. Every day, write down at least 3 things you're grateful for. These don't have to be grand achievements. They can be as simple as a good conversation, a warm meal, or the ability to breathe deeply. Over time, this practice rewires your brain, making gratitude your default state rather than a fleeting emotion. Another essential happiness anchor is a strong sense of purpose. When you wake up every day with a reason to move forward, happiness becomes natural. Purpose gives life meaning, making even the hardest days feel worthwhile. Your purpose doesn't have to be something grand like changing the world. It can be as simple as being a kind and supportive friend, creating something meaningful, or continuously learning and growing. Finding your purpose requires reflection. Ask yourself, what makes me feel alive? What activities make time disappear? What impact do I want to leave in the world, no matter how small? When you align your daily actions with a purpose that excites you, happiness is no longer dependent on circumstances. It becomes an internal drive that keeps you fulfilled. Another powerful anchor is self-care and emotional well-being. Too many people treat happiness as a reward, something they will give themselves after they've accomplished enough. But happiness thrives when you actively take care of yourself, physically, emotionally, and mentally. This means creating rituals that nourish you. Exercise releases endorphins, helping your brain produce natural happiness. Meditation and mindfulness reduce stress and bring clarity. Spending time in nature has been scientifically proven to boost mood and mental health. Prioritizing rest and sleep helps regulate emotions and energy levels. These small habits add up, making happiness a daily experience rather than an occasional event. Another anchor that strengthens happiness is meaningful relationships. Humans are wired for connection, and the quality of your relationships directly affects your overall well-being. But not all relationships contribute to happiness. Some drain it. It's important to surround yourself with people who uplift and support you, rather than those who constantly bring negativity into your life. Building deep, authentic relationships requires effort. It means being fully present when you're with others, actively listening, and showing genuine care. It also means setting boundaries with people who drain your energy. When your social circle is filled with people who truly appreciate and encourage you, happiness becomes a shared experience rather than something you try to create alone. One of the most overlooked happiness anchors is acceptance. Life is unpredictable, and not everything will go as planned. If your happiness depends on everything being perfect, you will always be disappointed. But when you cultivate acceptance of yourself, of others, and of life's uncertainties, you free yourself from unnecessary suffering. Acceptance doesn't mean giving up or settling for less. It means understanding that some things are within your control while others are not. It's about making peace with imperfection and learning to navigate life's waves rather than resisting them. When you practice acceptance, happiness becomes less about forcing things to be a certain way and more about finding peace in whatever way things unfold. A happiness anchor is not just one thing. It's a combination of gratitude, purpose, self-care, relationships, and acceptance. It is something that keeps you steady, no matter what storms come your way. Instead of letting happiness be something temporary, build these anchors into your life so that joy becomes your foundation, not just an occasional feeling. When you have strong anchors, nothing outside of you can take away the happiness you've created within. Chapter 6. Design a life that supports joy. Happiness doesn't just happen, it is built by design. Many people live their lives according to routines, obligations, and societal expectations that drain them rather than uplift them. They prioritize work over well-being, say yes to things that exhaust them, and fill their schedules with responsibilities that leave little room for joy. Then they wonder why they feel unhappy. The truth is, happiness isn't just about mindset, it's also about how you structure your life. If your daily routine is full of stress, distractions, and unfulfilling activities, no amount of positive thinking will create lasting joy. A joyful life is one that is intentionally designed. That means making conscious choices about how you spend your time, energy, and attention. The first step to designing a happier life is identifying what drains you and what fuels you. Take a look at your daily routine and ask yourself, what activities give me energy, excitement, and fulfillment? What activities leave me feeling drained, frustrated, or empty? How much of my time is spent doing things I truly enjoy? For many people, the answers reveal that their lives are filled with obligations that leave little space for joy. This is why creating a happiness-centered lifestyle requires making intentional adjustments, small but powerful changes that shift your life from one of stress to one of fulfillment. One of the most important aspects of designing a joyful life is learning to say no. Many people struggle with this because they feel guilty or obligated to meet others' expectations. But every time you say yes to something that doesn't serve you, you say no to something that does. Setting boundaries doesn't mean being selfish. It means protecting your energy and prioritizing what truly matters to you. Another key element is simplifying your life. A cluttered schedule leads to a cluttered mind. Many people fill their days with unnecessary commitments, distractions, and busyness that prevent them from fully enjoying life. Simplifying means removing what doesn't serve you, whether that's toxic relationships, endless social media scrolling, or commitments that don't align with your values. The less mental and emotional clutter you carry, the more space you create for happiness. Your physical environment also plays a huge role in your well-being. A messy, chaotic space creates stress, while a clean and organized space promotes clarity and peace. If your surroundings constantly make you feel overwhelmed, take time to declutter and create an environment that supports joy. Add elements that bring you peace, natural light, calming colors, or meaningful objects that inspire you. Your home should be a place that restores your energy, not drains it. Another way to design a happier life is to build daily joy rituals. Many people wait for happiness to arrive in big moments, vacations, promotions, or celebrations. But true happiness is found in the small daily moments. A joy ritual is a simple habit that brings pleasure into your day. It could be morning meditation, listening to your favorite music, walking in nature, or taking a few minutes to reflect on what you're grateful for. These small habits create a foundation of joy that lasts beyond temporary moments of excitement. Another essential part of structuring your life around happiness is protecting your energy. Just like you wouldn't allow someone to take all the money out of your bank account, you shouldn't allow situations or people to drain all your emotional energy. Pay attention to what lifts your spirit and what weighs you down. Surround yourself with people who uplift, inspire, and encourage you, rather than those who constantly bring negativity. Time is another critical factor. Most people feel like they don't have enough time for the things they love, but the truth is, they just haven't prioritized them. Look at how you spend your time. Are you filling your days with obligations that don't bring meaning? Are you sacrificing personal joy for productivity? True success isn't about being busy. It's about creating a life that feels meaningful. Instead of cramming your schedule with endless tasks, make space for what matters. One of the most important ways to design a life that supports joy is to align your life with your values. When you live according to someone else's definition of success, you will always feel unfulfilled. Take time to define what truly matters to you. Is it creativity, freedom, connection, growth? Once you are clear on your values, make choices that reflect them. When your daily actions align with what you truly care about, happiness stops being something you chase. It becomes something you naturally experience. Happiness isn't something that magically appears. It's something you create through your daily choices, habits, and lifestyle. When you design a life that prioritizes joy, you stop waiting for happiness to find you and start living it every day. Chapter 7. Find happiness within. No matter what. Happiness that depends on external circumstances is fragile. If your joy is tied to success, relationships, wealth, or validation from others, it will always be at risk. The moment things go wrong, the moment you lose a job, face rejection, or experience failure, your happiness will disappear. But when you learn to cultivate happiness from within, it becomes unshakable. No matter what happens around you, you remain at peace because your joy is not dependent on anything outside of you. Many people believe that happiness comes after achieving something: a successful career, the perfect partner, financial stability. But those who achieve these things often find that the feeling of happiness is temporary. The excitement fades, and they start looking for the next thing to chase. This is because external achievements cannot create lasting joy. The only way to experience true and consistent happiness is to make it an internal state of being, rather than a result of external events. The key to finding happiness within is self-acceptance. Too many people spend their lives feeling like they are not enough. They compare themselves to others, dwell on their flaws, and constantly seek improvement, believing that happiness will come once they are better. But real joy comes when you fully accept yourself as you are, with all your strengths and imperfections. This doesn't mean you stop growing or striving for more. It means you recognize that you are already worthy, already enough, and already capable of experiencing happiness in the present moment. Another powerful way to cultivate inner happiness is through mindfulness. Mindfulness is the practice of being fully present in the moment, rather than dwelling on the past or worrying about the future. Most suffering comes from attachment to things we cannot control, regretting past mistakes or fearing what's ahead. But happiness exists only in the present. When you learn to embrace the now, to appreciate what's in front of you, rather than wishing for something different, you free yourself from unnecessary stress and anxiety. A simple way to practice mindfulness is to slow down and focus on your senses. Notice the warmth of the sun on your skin, the rhythm of your breath, the taste of your food. When you are fully engaged in the present, your mind stops racing, and you naturally feel more at peace. The more you train yourself to be mindful, the more happiness becomes a natural state, rather than something you have to chase. Another essential element of internal happiness is detachment. This doesn't mean you stop caring about life, people, or success. It means you stop clinging to them as the source of your happiness. When you become attached to things outside of you, whether it's material possessions, achievements, or relationships, you give them power over your emotions. If you lose them, you suffer. But when you cultivate inner security, knowing that you are whole and complete on your own, you free yourself from the fear of loss. One of the biggest shifts in finding happiness within is learning to see life as a journey, not a destination. Happiness is not a place you arrive at. It is a way of living. Instead of waiting for the perfect moment, relationship, or achievement, start creating happiness in the ordinary moments. Laugh more. Spend time in nature. Connect with people you love. Do things that bring you joy for no other reason than the fact that they feel good. One of the greatest sources of inner happiness is living with purpose. When you align your life with what truly matters to you, happiness becomes effortless. Purpose isn't always about grand achievements. It's about doing things that make you feel alive. Whether it's creating, helping others, learning, or growing, finding something that gives your life meaning makes happiness a natural byproduct. True happiness doesn't come from the world, it comes from you. When you stop searching for it outside of yourself and start nurturing it from within, you become untouchable. No setback, failure, or external challenge can take it away from you. Instead of asking, "How can I find happiness?" start asking, "How can I create it?" Because the truth is, happiness was never missing. It was always within you. Chapter 8. Become the source of your own joy. Happiness isn't something you receive, it's something you generate. Too many people live their lives believing that joy comes from outside sources, relationships, success, wealth, or validation from others. They wait for life to give them reasons to be happy, believing that they need permission to feel joy. But the happiest people in the world aren't the ones who have everything. They're the ones who create joy, no matter their circumstances. Becoming the source of your own happiness means taking full responsibility for your emotional state. It means no longer waiting for life to align perfectly before allowing yourself to feel joy. It means realizing that while challenges will come and go, you always have the power to decide how you experience life. The moment you stop looking for happiness outside of yourself and start creating it from within, you gain a level of freedom that nothing and no one can take away. One of the biggest obstacles to self-generated happiness is dependency on others for emotional fulfillment. It's easy to fall into the habit of relying on friends, partners, or family to make you happy. But when your happiness is dependent on someone else's actions, moods, or presence, you give away your power. Relationships should add to your joy, not be the source of it. True happiness comes when you can be content, whether you're alone or surrounded by people. A powerful way to cultivate self-sufficient happiness is by creating daily moments of joy. Too many people wait for big achievements, getting a promotion, buying a house, or going on vacation to experience happiness. But joy isn't something that should be postponed for special occasions. Instead, build simple daily habits that bring you happiness. Start your day with something that makes you feel good, like listening to your favorite music or enjoying a peaceful cup of coffee. Engage in activities that bring fulfillment, whether it's reading, writing, exercising, or pursuing a creative hobby. Express yourself freely without fear of judgment. Whether it's through art, dance, or laughter, letting go of self-consciousness leads to genuine joy. Another essential part of becoming the source of your own joy is shifting your focus from what you lack to what you have. The mind naturally tends to focus on what's missing, what's wrong, or what still needs improvement. But happiness isn't found in chasing more. It's found in appreciating what already exists. Gratitude is a powerful tool that turns what you have into enough. By training your mind to recognize and appreciate the good in your life, you start to feel joy without needing anything to change. At the same time, detox your life from things that drain your happiness. This could mean limiting time spent around negative people, reducing unnecessary stress, or eliminating habits that leave you feeling empty. Pay attention to what lifts your spirit and what brings you down. The more you remove toxic influences, the more space you create for genuine joy. A key part of self-generated happiness is learning to enjoy your own company. Many people struggle with being alone, believing that happiness must come from external interactions. But the relationship you have with yourself is the longest and most important one of your life. Spend time alone without distractions. Take yourself on a walk, sit in silence, or reflect on your thoughts. When you become comfortable in your own presence, you realize that joy doesn't require external validation. It comes from self-acceptance and inner peace. Happiness grows when you share it. True joy isn't about hoarding good feelings, it's about spreading them. Acts of kindness, generosity, and connection deepen your sense of fulfillment. Whether it's helping someone, offering encouragement, or simply smiling at a stranger, sharing joy multiplies it. The more you give, the more you receive. Becoming the source of your own happiness means reclaiming your power. It means understanding that you don't have to wait for circumstances, people, or achievements to make you happy. You are already enough, and you have everything within you to create the joy you seek. The moment you realize this, happiness stops being something you chase. It becomes something you are. Chapter 9. Master the Art of Inner Peace. Happiness isn't just about feeling joyful in the good times. It's about maintaining inner peace even when life is difficult. Many people believe that happiness means constantly being excited, positive, or full of energy, but true happiness is much deeper than that. It is a steady, unshakable sense of peace that remains no matter what happens around you. It's the ability to stay calm in chaos, to find clarity in uncertainty, and to navigate life's ups and downs without being emotionally overwhelmed. The reason so many people struggle with happiness is that their emotions are tied to external events. When things go well, they feel happy. When things go wrong, they feel miserable. But this creates an unstable, fragile kind of happiness that is always at risk. The key to lasting happiness is to cultivate inner peace, an internal state of calm and contentment that is independent of external circumstances. One of the most effective ways to build inner peace is through emotional detachment. This doesn't mean suppressing emotions or becoming indifferent to life. Instead, it means not allowing external events to control your emotional state. When you detach, you observe situations without overreacting, understanding that everything is temporary. Instead of getting caught up in negativity, you learn to step back, breathe, and respond with clarity rather than impulse. Another powerful practice for inner peace is acceptance. A huge source of unhappiness comes from resisting reality, wishing things were different, dwelling on the past, or fearing the future. But when you fight against what you cannot change, you create suffering. Learning to accept things as they are, without judgment or frustration, brings immediate relief. This doesn't mean you stop striving for growth. It means you stop wasting energy on things beyond your control. A simple way to practice acceptance is by letting go of expectations. Many people become unhappy because life doesn't go exactly as they planned. They expect certain outcomes, behaviors from others, or success by a certain time, and when reality doesn't match their expectations, they feel disappointed. But when you release rigid expectations and learn to flow with life, you free yourself from unnecessary stress. Instead of trying to control everything, you trust that whatever happens is part of your growth. Another way to cultivate inner peace is through mindfulness. Most of the anxiety and stress people experience come from either reliving the past or worrying about the future. But happiness exists only in the now. Mindfulness trains your mind to stay present, fully engaged in whatever you're doing. Whether you're eating, walking, or talking with someone, being fully present deepens your sense of peace and fulfillment. Inner peace also comes from simplicity. Many people complicate their lives with unnecessary stress, too many commitments, toxic relationships, or chasing things they don't truly need. Simplifying your life by focusing only on what truly matters creates more space for joy. Let go of distractions that drain you and focus on what brings you real fulfillment. Another important step is forgiving yourself and others. Holding on to resentment, guilt, or regret creates emotional weight that makes happiness difficult to sustain. Forgiveness is not about excusing bad behavior. It's about freeing yourself from carrying unnecessary pain. When you let go of the past, you create space for peace in the present. Mastering inner peace means trusting yourself and the process of life. Many people feel anxious because they doubt themselves, overthink every decision, or fear making mistakes. But true confidence comes from knowing that no matter what happens, you will handle it. Trust that you are capable, that challenges are opportunities for growth, and that everything unfolds in the way it's meant to. When you master the art of inner peace, happiness stops being something that comes and goes. It becomes a constant state of being. No longer dependent on external conditions, your joy remains unshaken by life's uncertainties. Instead of reacting to life, you start flowing with it. Instead of looking for peace outside of yourself, you realize it has been within you all along. Chapter 10. Live as your authentic self. Happiness cannot be found in pretending to be someone you're not. Many people go through life wearing masks, trying to fit in, meet expectations, or gain approval from others. They mold themselves into what society, family, or peers want them to be, often suppressing their true thoughts, desires, and dreams. But living this way creates an invisible prison, one where happiness is always just out of reach. The deepest form of fulfillment comes from embracing who you truly are and living life on your terms. The first step to authentic happiness is understanding who you really are. Many people don't take the time to reflect on their true selves because they are too busy following the paths laid out for them by others. But happiness isn't found in living someone else's dream. It's found in discovering what truly matters to you. Ask yourself, what excites me? What do I value most in life? What kind of life do I want to create, without outside influence? Once you start answering these questions, you begin peeling away the layers of societal conditioning and reconnecting with your core self. The more you align your life with your authentic desires, the more natural and lasting happiness becomes. One major obstacle to authenticity is the fear of judgment. Many people hold themselves back because they worry about what others will think. They hesitate to speak their truth, follow their passions, or make bold decisions because they fear criticism or rejection. But the reality is, no matter what you do, someone will always have an opinion. The question is, are you willing to sacrifice your happiness for their approval? The people who truly matter will accept you as you are, and those who judge you were never meant to be part of your journey. Another essential part of authenticity is letting go of comparison. Social media, entertainment, and even personal relationships often make us feel like we are behind or not enough. We see others succeeding, achieving, or appearing happy, and we start questioning our own worth. But comparison is a trap. It distracts you from your own path and steals the joy of your own progress. The truth is, there is no single timeline for happiness or success. Your journey is yours alone, and it will unfold in the way that's right for you. Authenticity also means embracing your imperfections. No one is perfect, yet many people spend their lives trying to hide their flaws. They believe they will be happy once they fix themselves, but happiness is not found in perfection. It is found in self-acceptance. Every flaw, mistake, and challenge you've faced has shaped you into the person you are today. When you stop trying to be flawless and start embracing yourself fully, you unlock a sense of freedom that leads to genuine happiness. Another powerful part of living authentically is expressing yourself freely. Whether it's through creativity, style, communication, or career choices, self-expression is a vital part of happiness. Many people suppress their voices, opinions, or artistic sides because they fear rejection, but suppressing your true self leads to frustration and inner conflict. The more you allow yourself to be seen, heard, and understood in an authentic way, the more fulfilling your life becomes. A crucial part of authenticity is making decisions based on what feels right for you, not what others expect. Many people end up in careers, relationships, or lifestyles that don't truly fulfill them because they were following someone else's script. To live authentically, you must learn to listen to your intuition and trust yourself. Every time you make a choice that aligns with your true desires, you step closer to a life of happiness and fulfillment. Authenticity attracts the right people and opportunities. When you are unapologetically yourself, you naturally attract relationships, careers, and experiences that align with your energy. You no longer have to force connections or fit into spaces that don't feel right. Instead, the right people and opportunities find you because you are living in alignment with your truth. Happiness is not found in becoming what others expect. It is found in fully embracing who you already are. When you live as your authentic self, happiness is no longer something you have to chase. It flows effortlessly from within. No more pretending, no more seeking approval, just pure, unfiltered joy in being you. Chapter 11. Stop chasing happiness. Cultivate it from within. One of the biggest mistakes people make is believing that happiness is something to chase. They run after it in the form of achievements, relationships, possessions, or experiences, always thinking that just one more thing will finally make them feel fulfilled. But the more you chase happiness, the more elusive it becomes. It's like running after the horizon. The closer you think you're getting, the further it seems to move away. The truth is, happiness isn't something you find, it's something you cultivate. Happiness is not a destination, it's a skill, a practice, and a way of experiencing life. Instead of thinking of happiness as a reward that comes after success, love, or security, shift your mindset to see it as something you create daily, regardless of circumstances. One of the biggest traps of chasing happiness is the "I'll be happy when" mindset. This belief keeps happiness forever in the future. I'll be happy when I get a better job. I'll be happy when I lose weight. I'll be happy when I find the right partner. But as soon as you achieve one goal, another one takes its place, and the cycle continues. The truth is, external achievements bring temporary satisfaction, but they don't create lasting happiness. Instead of waiting for happiness, start practicing it now. Happiness is found in how you approach each day, how you respond to challenges, and how you appreciate the present moment. A powerful way to cultivate happiness from within is developing daily habits that support joy. Happiness isn't a single grand moment. It's built through small, intentional actions repeated over time. Start your day with something positive. Instead of jumping straight into work, stress, or social media, take a few moments to do something that uplifts you, listening to music, practicing gratitude, or moving your body. Slow down and be present. Rushing through life in constant pursuit of the next thing keeps you from fully experiencing joy. Take time to truly be in each moment, whether eating, talking to a friend, or simply breathing. Engage in activities that bring fulfillment. Hobbies, creativity, learning, and self-care are all ways to nourish inner joy. Make time for things that genuinely make you feel good. Another key element of cultivating happiness is detaching from external validation. If your joy depends on how others see you, what they think of you, or how much approval you receive, your happiness will always be fragile. People's opinions change, circumstances shift, and life is unpredictable. But when your sense of happiness comes from within, it remains steady, no matter what happens outside of you. Gratitude is another powerful practice that turns what you have into enough. Instead of focusing on what's missing, train yourself to recognize the good that already exists. No matter how difficult life may seem, there is always something to be grateful for: a supportive friend, a moment of laughter, or the simple ability to breathe and start fresh each day. It's also important to let go of unrealistic expectations about happiness. Many people think they need to be happy all the time to have a good life, but happiness isn't about feeling great 100% of the time. It's about building a strong foundation so that even during difficult moments, you still feel a sense of inner peace and resilience. Life will always have ups and downs. There will be challenges, losses, and unexpected turns. But when you cultivate happiness from within, you stop being at the mercy of life's unpredictability. Instead of depending on external conditions to feel good, you build an internal source of joy that is steady and unshakable. Happiness isn't something you chase, it's something you become. The more you nurture it in your daily life, the less you need to search for it elsewhere. It was never missing. It was within you all along. Chapter 12. Make happiness a lifestyle, not a goal. Happiness isn't a finish line you cross. It's a way of living. Many people treat happiness as a goal, something they will finally achieve once they reach a certain milestone. But this mindset creates a cycle of waiting, always postponing joy for later. The truth is, happiness isn't something you reach. It's something you practice every day. Instead of treating happiness like an achievement, think of it as a lifestyle. It's not about one big moment of success, love, or accomplishment. It's about the small, intentional choices you make every single day. It's about how you wake up, how you treat yourself, how you interact with others, and how you move through life. One of the most important shifts you can make is embracing joy in ordinary moments. So often, people think happiness is found in big events, vacations, promotions, celebrations. But happiness is actually found in the simple, everyday moments. The warmth of the sun on your skin, the sound of laughter, a deep conversation, or a quiet moment with a book. When you start noticing and appreciating these small joys, your entire life starts to feel more fulfilling. Another key to making happiness a lifestyle is eliminating what no longer serves you. If something is constantly draining your energy, making you feel unhappy, or pulling you away from your peace, it may be time to let it go. This could be toxic relationships, unnecessary obligations, negative self-talk, or habits that keep you stuck. Happiness is not just about adding things that make you feel good. It's also about removing what no longer aligns with the life you want to create. Creating a happiness-focused lifestyle also means choosing experiences over possessions. Many people think buying more things will make them happy, but material possessions only bring short-term satisfaction. Experiences, on the other hand, whether it's traveling, learning something new, or spending quality time with loved ones, create lasting fulfillment. Prioritize experiences that add meaning to your life, rather than just accumulating things. Another powerful way to sustain happiness is learning to be fully present. So many people live in their minds, either replaying the past or worrying about the future. But happiness only exists in the now. The more you train yourself to be present, the more you naturally feel at peace. Whether it's eating, walking, working, or spending time with others, being fully engaged in the moment allows you to experience joy without distractions. At the same time, happiness flourishes when you focus on giving rather than just receiving. Acts of kindness, generosity, and service create a sense of purpose and connection, whether it's helping a friend, supporting a cause, or simply making someone smile. Spreading happiness naturally increases your own. When you shift from asking, "What can I get?" to "How can I give?" you create a life filled with deep, lasting fulfillment. Most importantly, making happiness a lifestyle requires consistency. Happiness isn't about waiting for the right moment. It's about making joy a priority every single day. It's in the habits you build, the mindset you adopt, and the way you choose to experience life. Small, intentional acts of joy, self-care, gratitude, and connection add up over time, creating a life that feels genuinely fulfilling. Happiness is not a final destination, it is the way you walk through life. When you make it a daily practice instead of a future goal, you stop waiting for happiness to arrive and start living it right now. Chapter 13. Protect your happiness from negativity. Happiness is something you create, but it's also something you must protect. No matter how much you work on cultivating joy from within, external negativity can still creep in and drain your energy if you're not careful. The world is full of distractions, toxic influences, and emotional triggers that can pull you away from your inner peace. That's why true happiness isn't just about finding joy, it's about defending it. One of the biggest threats to happiness is negative people. Some people constantly complain, spread fear, or bring unnecessary drama into your life. While it's important to be compassionate, you also need to recognize when someone is emotionally draining you. If you spend too much time around negativity, it will start affecting your mood, your thoughts, and your overall energy. Protect your happiness by setting boundaries with people who don't uplift or support you. You don't owe anyone access to your inner peace. Another major source of negativity is consuming too much bad news and toxic content. While it's good to stay informed, constantly watching negative news, engaging in online arguments, or following social media accounts that make you feel insecure can rob you of happiness. Be mindful of what you expose your mind to. Just like junk food harms your body, junk information harms your mental state. Choose content that educates, inspires, or brings joy, rather than content that drains you. Your own thoughts can also be a source of negativity. If you constantly criticize yourself, dwell on mistakes, or expect the worst, you will create unnecessary suffering. Negative self-talk is like carrying around a weight that makes every step harder. Instead of letting your mind work against you, train it to work for you. When a negative thought appears, pause and ask yourself, is this thought helping me or hurting me? Is it even true? Most of the time, you'll realize that your mind is exaggerating fears or focusing on things that don't actually matter. Replacing these thoughts with more constructive ones will immediately improve your emotional state. Another way to protect your happiness is by letting go of the need to control everything. A lot of stress and frustration come from trying to force things to go a certain way. But life is unpredictable, and many things are beyond your control. The more you try to control every outcome, the more anxious you become. Instead, learn to trust the process and focus only on what you can control: your attitude, your actions, and your perspective. Happiness is also threatened by holding on to past pain. If you constantly replay old mistakes, regrets, or painful memories, you keep yourself stuck in suffering. While it's important to learn from the past, it's equally important to release it. Carrying emotional baggage only makes your journey heavier. Forgiveness, whether for yourself or others, isn't about letting someone off the hook. It's about freeing yourself from carrying pain that no longer serves you. Another crucial way to protect your happiness is by not letting small things ruin your day. Life will always have minor inconveniences: a rude stranger, a delayed schedule, a frustrating moment. But when you let these small things consume your thoughts, they rob you of joy. Ask yourself, will this matter a year from now? If not, let it go. Happiness isn't about avoiding problems, it's about deciding which ones are worth your energy. Most importantly, protecting your happiness means choosing where to invest your time and energy. Spend time with people who uplift you, engage in activities that bring fulfillment, and nurture habits that strengthen your well-being. If something consistently makes you feel drained, stressed, or unfulfilled, it's time to reconsider whether it deserves a place in your life. Happiness is precious, and the world will always test it. But when you guard it with intention, by filtering negativity, setting boundaries, and focusing on what truly matters, you create a life where joy isn't easily shaken. Your happiness is worth protecting. Make sure you do. Chapter 14. The Power of Letting Go. One of the greatest obstacles to happiness is holding on to pain, expectations, fears, grudges, or even identities that no longer serve you. Many people carry emotional baggage for years, not realizing that it weighs them down and blocks their ability to experience joy. Happiness is not just about gaining the right things. It's also about releasing what no longer belongs in your life. Letting go is not about giving up. It's about making space for something better. When you hold on to negative emotions, past failures, or limiting beliefs, you keep yourself trapped in a cycle of suffering. True freedom and happiness come when you release what's holding you back and allow yourself to move forward. One of the most difficult things to let go of is past mistakes and regrets. Everyone makes mistakes. Everyone has moments they wish they could redo. But dwelling on the past doesn't change it. It only drains your energy and prevents you from embracing the present. Instead of punishing yourself for what you should have done differently, focus on what you can do differently now. Growth comes from learning, not from self-blame. Another thing that prevents happiness is holding on to expectations of how life should be. Many people create rigid expectations about relationships, career success, or personal progress, and when reality doesn't match those expectations, they feel frustrated or disappointed. But life doesn't always go as planned. The sooner you learn to flow with life instead of resisting it, the more peace you will find. Letting go of expectations doesn't mean lowering your standards. It means being open to different paths, possibilities, and unexpected opportunities. Letting go also means releasing the need for control. Many people think they'll be happy once they have control over every aspect of their lives. But control is an illusion. No matter how much you plan, unexpected things will happen. The more you try to force outcomes, the more anxious and frustrated you become. Happiness comes when you trust the process, when you accept that while you can't control everything, you can control how you respond. Another important thing to let go of is toxic relationships and energy-draining people. Not everyone is meant to stay in your life forever. Some people bring negativity, drama, or unhealthy patterns that pull you away from your happiness. It's okay to outgrow relationships. It's okay to walk away from people who do not support your growth. Letting go of toxic connections isn't selfish. It's necessary for your well-being. One of the hardest but most rewarding things to let go of is the fear of what others think. Many people live their entire lives trying to impress, please, or gain approval from others. They suppress their true selves out of fear of judgment. But the reality is, no matter what you do, people will always have opinions. You will never be able to control how others see you. So why waste energy worrying about it? The moment you let go of the need for validation is the moment you experience true freedom. Letting go also applies to negative emotions like anger, resentment, and bitterness. Holding on to these emotions doesn't hurt the person who wronged you, it only hurts you. Forgiveness isn't about excusing bad behavior. It's about setting yourself free from the burden of carrying pain. The longer you hold on to resentment, the longer you give someone else control over your emotions. Let go, not for them, but for yourself. Finally, letting go means trusting that life is unfolding exactly as it should. It's easy to become impatient, frustrated, or anxious when things don't happen as quickly as you want. But sometimes delays and detours are life's way of redirecting you towards something better. When you learn to trust in the timing of your life, you stop resisting the present and start fully embracing it. Happiness is not found in clinging to what's familiar. It's found in the courage to let go. The more you release what no longer serves you, the lighter, freer, and happier you become. Stop holding on to what's keeping you stuck. The happiness you seek is waiting on the other side of letting go. Chapter 15. The happiness of becoming, not just being. Happiness isn't just about who you are today, it's about who you are becoming. Many people think of happiness as something static, as if once they reach a certain point in life, they will finally arrive at happiness. But true fulfillment doesn't come from staying the same. It comes from growth, learning, and continuous evolution. Life is always changing, and happiness flourishes when you embrace that change rather than resist it. If you cling too tightly to your comfort zone, you may feel safe, but you also risk feeling stagnant. Growth can be uncomfortable at times, but it brings a deeper sense of happiness, one that comes from expanding your potential and becoming the best version of yourself. One of the most powerful ways to find joy in the process of becoming is to focus on progress, not perfection. Too many people believe that they need to fix themselves before they can be happy. They think, I'll be happy once I'm successful, once I'm confident, once I've figured everything out. But perfection is an impossible goal, one that will always leave you feeling like you're not enough. Instead of waiting to reach some imaginary point of completion, shift your mindset to celebrating progress, no matter how small. Every step forward is a reason to be proud. Another way to cultivate happiness in personal growth is to fall in love with learning. Many people associate learning with school or work, but in reality, learning is a lifelong process that keeps life exciting and meaningful. Whether it's developing a new skill, reading thought-provoking books, or exploring different perspectives, the pursuit of knowledge brings endless joy. The happiest people are those who remain curious, who see life as an adventure rather than a set of fixed rules. It's also important to embrace challenges as opportunities for growth. Many people avoid discomfort, thinking that happiness means avoiding struggle. But real growth happens when you face difficulties head-on and use them to build strength and wisdom. Instead of fearing failure, see it as part of your journey. Every challenge you overcome makes you more resilient, more experienced, and more prepared for the next stage of life. At the same time, Happiness grows when you give yourself permission to change. Sometimes people hold on to identities, beliefs, or lifestyles that no longer align with who they are becoming. They fear that if they change, they will disappoint others or lose a sense of stability. But change is a natural part of life. You are not meant to be the same person you were 5 years ago, or even 1 year ago. Allow yourself to evolve, and happiness will follow. One of the best ways to ensure that growth leads to happiness is to set goals that excite you. A meaningful goal gives you something to look forward to, something that challenges you in a way that sparks passion rather than stress. But remember, happiness doesn't just come from achieving the goal. It comes from the journey of working toward it. Enjoy the process, celebrate small wins, and stay present in each step. Another key to finding joy in becoming is self-compassion. Growth isn't always easy, and sometimes you will stumble. The way you treat yourself in those moments matters. Instead of criticizing yourself for not being perfect, offer yourself the same kindness you would give a friend. Growth takes time, and every mistake is simply part of the learning process. Lastly, remember that happiness is not about reaching a final destination. It's about continuing to move forward. The happiest people are those who never stop evolving, who find excitement in new experiences, and who embrace every chapter of life with an open heart. Instead of asking yourself, "Have I made it?" start asking, "How can I keep growing?" Happiness is not just about being, it's about becoming. And as long as you are learning, growing, and pushing yourself to new heights, you will always have a reason to be happy. Happiness is not a mystery, a prize for the lucky, or something you must chase for a lifetime. It is something you build from within. Too many people wait for happiness, believing that one day when everything is perfect, they will finally feel fulfilled. But life doesn't work that way. Perfection is an illusion, and happiness is not a reward. It is a choice you make daily. Through this journey, you've learned that true happiness isn't found in external achievements, relationships, or material possessions. It comes from mastering your inner world, detaching from external validation, and cultivating gratitude. It's about designing a life that aligns with your values, learning to let go of negativity, and protecting your joy from unnecessary stress. You now understand that happiness is not about avoiding pain, but about transforming it. Struggles, failures, and disappointments are not obstacles to happiness. They are part of the process. When you stop resisting them and start learning from them, you gain resilience and inner strength. Happiness is also found in the ability to be present, to embrace each moment without being trapped in the past or worried about the future. It's found in the courage to be authentic, to grow, and to become the best version of yourself. But most importantly, happiness is not something you need to wait for, search for, or hope to find. It has been within you all along. The only thing left is for you to claim it. So ask yourself, what will I do today to create happiness? Because happiness isn't something you find, it's something you become. And the power to be happy has always been yours.